Alright, let's get back into it, shall we? Let's do it. How's it going, everyone? I'm back. You having a good time? Hope that the intermission helped you a little bit, you know, get yourself in order and all that. Order. Anyway, back to it with Investigation Part 2. Do this all the time, you kidding me? This is the voice acting is for. Had a gay old time? Good. 15th April, Baker Street. Let's do it. See, that's why I ate grown. Well, that's not the right. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my. Surely you were given that. What the hell? That's not the voice I was doing. Just kidding. Yeah, D let me keep it after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then go on then, have it before telling me to scarf her. Always pays off, giving people a look like you ate them. Can't help feeling it's gonna get you into some serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc mind. The music box disc? But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna have another bash. Give him a long hard stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windibanks again today. Why not? That's not fair. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. Police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windibank. But that disc mine. I had to take it for this coat, and it was in the coat's pocket. And there should be something else in all. That's what that rotten clothes said, isn't it? Yes, he did mention there was only another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Eh? Iris will be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. Nota. Oh. Why would I come round to your place, eh? Have you lost your head or something? Your head? Oh dear, she's gone. Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps you might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Yeah, very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. He's finally asking us out. Waiting for this. Oh, how exciting! What is it? Oh wait, you're invited too? Oh damn it! It's not really a date then if she's invited too. Come on, Sholmes. I thought we had a moment. I thought this was gonna be the moment when it. Until later then. It depends on who you are, really. Not for me personally, but like Sholmes is sweet. V equals the sum of P to the I can't even read that superscript or that subscript. I assume they're both 2P squared V2. So V, oh, maybe that's not actually. No, V equals V naught minus the sum of something, but there's no sum. It's an incomplete, what? Ah, Susie and Bruno, come in. Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at that time already. Busy as always? I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening. Already? You're obviously cooking something special, aren't you? Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. You'll never guess. Eyes are shining. Oh dear, it is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news. Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional. Oh yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you Mr. Naruto? By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? Early? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry. I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond. Oh my god, I love this dude so much. I do apologize. One gets like this is completely oblivious to everything. Yes, I see. Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Harley does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Yes, because Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it. I wonder where her real parents are. Are we going to finally talk about how her name is Wilson? What's the matter, Bruno? You have such a funny look on your face. Oh no, it's nothing. I know it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes? You're wondering. Am I right? Oh, how did you... Oh, Bruno, I come read you like a book. This girl is dangerous. Don't worry, you can ask me anything. I won't mind. Converse. Ginny. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the Gilded case 2 months ago, right? Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her in the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh, I chase after her down the back alleys. Interesting idea of friendship. Then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh, there's so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow. I suppose this means let Mr. Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you? Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now. Or Hurley. Oh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since you last came over. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just hope she actually does come. I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you? Well, that's crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents? My mummy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Mummy passed away when I was born, and at around the same time my father. Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Oh, wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley? Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. Didn't mention that before. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there. Really? He recorded them all? So, you mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he taxed some of Mr. taxing cases? Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father? Exactly! Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. That only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up. Found your father's memoirs. Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. They told me. That's when I found out that the author of all these accounts was my father. Iris' father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Finally, we can talk about this. It's been bugging me ever since they introduced her. I practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock when Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean. It must have done. I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley says it because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Well, having lived with Hurley for all these years, you might have say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There's some things I can just see. Especially lies. I know when people are lying before they open their mouth sometimes. Right. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually. I always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved the case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day it was so embarrassing. Usually he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris' father, who went to some distant land, There's a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. Thank you. The court will now hear the trial of Ryonosuke Naruvado. Oh, sorry. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. His name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. The man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Susato. Yes, perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further this time. I think that would be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you. Mr. Sholmes. Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really? Do tell me, Mr. Holmes, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madam? Oh, never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. Oh, another music box disc. Not another disc from Susato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGill with disc. Oh my! Then what's it doing here? Hey, you know, at times, Mr. Naruvado, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well even be more adept at larceny. Ooh, that will be wonderfully exciting. I'll be a pickpocket assistant, and Bruno could be our go-to lawyer if we ever get caught. Right. Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting. She would write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted, would you? Let's go pretend this crime notification never happened, I think. My inability to read, my god. Water time. What do you got to say, bud? I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. Caramel? That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGill that's not to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, briefest moment I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was precisely at that moment I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. That's amazing! The disc in all the minuscule proportions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Beautifully soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution. How extraordinary! Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take the house key, for example. Its simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high superous nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. The music on the disc. Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does this play? Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Bruno. I actually have a music box like this. Exactly like this. So pretty sounding. Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it. That's what I have. But over time, a new type of player was produced which uses discs such as these. That development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide all across the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms now in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. It's wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present. It is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. We have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. I see, so that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. As you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I'm presently engaged in acquiring a sample of all music boxes ever made in Europe. Every single one? That's Harley for you. Always taking things too far. My dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. Certainly true. In the worst case, I shall have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? Oh. Magnus McGilded, not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Ooh, was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash, not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder when she was so intimately involved was buried. I love this song, and I don't mind at all. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear this case is not yet closed. Thank God we're gonna get to solve it in this game. I was so worried we wouldn't. Well, it's time I start getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long. Thank you, Iris. Oh, will you let me? You must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do. I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right. Oh, that reminds me. Something Mr. Windibank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibank's storeroom, gathering dust. My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault. Well, what about your Stradivarius, Harley? Was that safe and secure? Well, there may be the occasional mix-up. Caused by a certain impetuous someone not far from me now. You have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskervilles story, Harley? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles? I should love to read it. How did she? What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, that's because Mr. Zato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course. But Reno, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published. What? When I showed Hurley... Thank you for the host, Rabbit, I really appreciate it. How you doing? When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said he'd keep it safe until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see. That's why that's why the manuscript is at Winterbank. And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Doing well. Ah! What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Miss Lestrade. This was a bad idea. I knew you weren't welcome. I'm going. No, wait, Miss Lestrade. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Oh yes, just wait there, Ginny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please, make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is, then. Kitty! Meow. Wacky! That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Don't kill Gina. I swear to fuck if you kill Gina. Okay. Yep. It's a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine. Feels as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face the next time we're in court. Please don't. You know the rules. Naruto-san, could I consult with you about something I want? What's the matter, Susato-san? It's about the telegram I received. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned. What? Summoned? What do you mean? The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart asked to see me. Lord Chief Justice? When? Tomorrow morning. What? Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruto-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. What's this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Don't make Grandpa the murderer. I still think Grandpa killed somebody. Oh, who could that be, I wonder? Good evening, friends. Ah, Iris. Hello again. And Gina, too. Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. Aww. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what? In particular? All those things Ginny showed us, wasn't it wonderful? You mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? I think we've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour? Well, you see, I came to return this. Wait, what? It's mine. Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it. Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius. So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though. Ah, thank you. Alright then, good night. Yes, good night. So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Jenny? I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this. Yes, me too. Seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. Suppose. Probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she does. Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please. Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris, not at all. I don't know what all this is about, really, but... This little bit story you made up, is it, Iris? This mantle script, or whatever you call it? It's not exactly a story I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diary. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's? That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my daddy was Hallie's assistant once, his partner. Eh? They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister? Apparently so. Surprised you didn't know that. Whatever he said. And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land. He'll be gone a very long time. Oh no, this poor girl! I've never really met him. Oh, right. Come to think of it. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Do that later. Oh no. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I'll take it from another tale inspired by my father's accounts. That's right. I thought it was fascinating. It's different somehow from the other cases, I mean. Oh, how? I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it, I showed the manuscript to Harley. He turned white as a sheet. It's the first time I've ever seen him like that. Pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. The story must not be published under any circumstances. But why not? It's one of my best works. I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me. Alright then, I won't. But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Winterbank, isn't it? Yes, Harley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, it does. He's treating me like a child. It's mean is what it is. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean. Eh? Said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it. I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. I think so too. You lot are too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it. What? Hallie's lying to me. Oh god, Gina, why would you? What are you doing? Just trying to do that. Yeah, thank you. Talk to Gina. I like the idea of examining someone in the background so you have multiple people to talk to on the same screen. Your parents. Realize that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. I ain't got any, have I? Never did have. Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one's nothing to do with us. The minute we're born, not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones to make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, diving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I steal some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about you sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I thought it'd make everything right. But I haven't listened to what Iris just said. Sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. I mean, if you know you never had him, you don't feel like you always wanted to meet him. It's true. It's true. Oh my god, this is heartbreaking. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris? Well, you reckon he popped that mental script or whatever, right? Come on, it's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that story was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone would halfway went the road. In other words, you could know about it. Ah. Sorry, Iris, but you asked me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Ali would never do something like that, I'm sure of it. Ah. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. They didn't realize it yet. I'm telling you, that mantle script saying at Winterbanks, you'd soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. I'm honest. I have wondered if Harley's saying the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Don't be so hard on yourself, Iris. My heart. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along. Oh my goodness. Come along, Jenny, we should go back downstairs. Yeah. Alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Harley, will you? No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night then. Iris, sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. Deep down, she's still just a child. Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruvado-san. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father. Also, the name of the murdered young visiting professor at Yuma University. Might be a mere coincidence. Something deeper going on. Naruvado. That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. Uh-oh. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. Miss Lestrade, she's gone. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. I'm speaking to her before she retired. I received a distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe that girl has gone home, but I don't believe the girl has gone home. But I've been waiting for her for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. You'll indulge me. Look out the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Don't do it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? In the pawnbroker. Oh no, Mr. Winterbank. That's Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Winterbank's... Oh no. Oh shit. Guys, I'm literally sweating right now, like a nervous sweat. Simple. If that story was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone halfway around the world, in other words, you could know about it. Know about it. Sorry guys, but you asked me, he sold it. Without telling you. Gina had gone. Because you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruvado. Sorry? Oh, no, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once. Miss Susato. Oh lord. Don't do it. And the lamp is burning. Be Gina, mustn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something's afoot inside. There's no one here. Oh yes, there is. Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But after them, go! Right. What the fuck is happening? Blast! I've lost him! Hello, hello, what have we here? Oh. The alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. My friend, Mr. Sholmes, he's been shot. What? The policeman close behind me. I ran back to Windbanks.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Naruvado!
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
Oh, Mr. Windibank's been murdered, and we're gonna defend Gina, I bet.
It's Gina!
Unless it's a double murder. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. No, you can't. No, 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 we're going. We're still doing this. Nope, nope, no, we're not done. We're not done. I'm not taking an intermission. Nothing. We're good. It's only been like an hour. Don't you dare do that to me, you fucking bitch of a game. How much? Ooh, that's... I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go! I'll have to... In storm, hurry! She's holding a gun. We have to defend Gina, I think. The only thing. She could not have. There's no way. I don't believe it. From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. Arrival of police, the preliminary investigation of the scene and its questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Alright, so you want to know my crackpot theory? I bet you do. Well, okay, since, I think... This is just a guess, because this is blind, right? I think what happened is, Eggs Benedict over there, he didn't do it, but he was like, he was a henchman sent by the Lord Chief Justice to get that shit from Windibanks, and that when things went awry there, the Lord Chief Justice, in the middle of the night, I think the Lord Chief Justice did it. I really am sticking by this thing that he's a murderer in this game. I don't know if that's true, but I think that he had something to do with the McGilded case in the first place, and that's why he had us take the case. And then, so like, now that it's been time and things are popping up from that again, I think it's not, I don't think it can be a coincidence. I think that something happened and that the Lord Chief Justice is involved. I don't know why he summoned Susato, but maybe he was trying to frame her or something. I really don't know. Anyway. Oh, Iris. Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? You're a medical doctor. Telegram came, but all it says was, wait, oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. Simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Runo? Poor Iris, she's trembling. Obviously trying very hard not to let us get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw those police carriages pulling up beside his shop. So I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windibanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of two thugs. They ran out on the street and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose. I didn't even think about the two men. Maybe I'm wrong, but the Lord Chief Justice got away behind us. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Jenny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. No, I know. None of us think she did it. Why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to the hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windibanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot? No, no! It's alright. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinner's. No, it's not the time for there to be a hospital called St. Sinner's. Oh my god. This is not the moment. What a way to ruin the mood game. Come on now. Oh my god. They don't... I must see him at once. Sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. Operate? Oh, poor Harley. Injured Sholmes. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It's pitch black inside the shop at the time. I went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them, go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Sorry. Well, if you'd seen which way they went now and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runa. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Where's Susie, Runa? She's still at the police station. Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. Miss Susato stayed behind to the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get her started until later. Ah, I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. He would have let me know and I would have come to the station. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No. I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. Ah, this is all so horrible. The thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor, in the storeroom where he keeps his deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see, but he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no! And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards... Don't tell me there was no one else in the room. Yes, exactly. How did you know? The only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Runo? Well, What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. Do if you don't if you do. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. Not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me? Oh yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. Don't forget we have to visit the crime scene and we need to conduct a thorough investigation. Ah, I can see you're ready for action. Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. We'll do that first then, I guess. Sally! Oh. He's not here. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Ooh, I know it's probably happened. Sally was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he'd been sent home. I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. There's no question it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Oh. Hello, what have we here? Oh, it's the Bobby again. This ward is off limits, no visiting. What are you doing in here? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Eh? Oh, we're begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady in a curious Eastern general. The great Mr. Solve has a mysterious family, eh? That's how you see us, I'm sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation. And extensive? And that's several hours since he went in. But yeah, is he going to be alright? Well, doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh! I had a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little bit too much to drink last night. Copy that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps you wish to leave and come back later. Oh, poor Harley. Alright, prison. Is this Sozaki's cell? It looks just like it. Hello, Gina. They didn't confiscate that from you? Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. Wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny? Feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. You were thinking you might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry? Yeah, I heard. Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. I think you know me. Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. If I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop on any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny, I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. So it was my right or something. Told him to get stuffed. I don't need a lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Legal representation. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? You wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers or something like that. If you had the chance to change your fate, would you? It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. People pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? That's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums my whole life. You do what the grown-ups tell you, it gets your mates dragged off by the cop. You'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. That happened to me once before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. Can't trust no one, that's the point. Soon you do, you're gone to the grass. Dead. Gina, listen. If you'd like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it. Ginny, don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. What happened, Gina? Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbrokers. There's nothing to tell. Figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going to the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. No, we don't. But why, Jenny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. A lot of work. Half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. Give it a rest. What would be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Jenny. We'll believe in you, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Believe me. Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Yep. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what the unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Jenny, please. Oh, yeah. I want to give you this. Something to remember me by. Oh, it's a cat. Photographic print of a really adorable cat. I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder, like a little photograph. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Jenny. White cat photograph. What? Hold on. There's gonna be. Is there something scrawled in the back of this? Is this gonna... Something written on it. 13th February, one small box. 10 shillings, redemption to like 13th April. Oh my gosh, yeah, look at that. I was wondering what we're gonna do with a white cat picture. It's good that I did that. Let's go. I don't think there's anything ever to examine in the detention center, so... Let's go to Baker Street first, just in case someone's there. Nope, no one. Oh, wait, there's a Bobby. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windibank's. Never imagined this would happen. We've been investigating a case so close to home. Poor Irish is very upset by all this. I'm sorry, I was there, I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Bruno, so please don't apologize. But I'm not to blame for all this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Yes, you're right. Oh, okay. Already been 2 months. Okay, wow. How could they see the place from here? When Harley comes back home, let's have a big party. It's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Shums is very tough. Yes. My god. What the hell, man? This is crazy already. You can't do this to me. April 16th, Windibank's pawnbrokery. This is where it happened last night. That's right. The 2 thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. What? Apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oi, I heard that. Ah, yes, Gregson. Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose I thought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the 2 rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Ah! Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming. Has an Ace Attorney case taken place on my birthday? I do not think so. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care. It's all set up nice, Flurg. I'm happy for you. Computer and everything? Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak. And I don't think that's Runa's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am. As you say. Nice. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice? Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some. Ah, lovely. It's very much. Tar very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case. This isn't very definitive evidence. We just have to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. You'll be able to bring it in before the judge and the bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How could you possibly know that? Oh, Halloween's your birthday, Paperstar? Cool. I had a feeling, that's all. I mean, never try to keep a secret from Iris. You've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Estrada is being held at the prison? We know that. She should be. Let's assume she hasn't lifted the key. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? I think we're supposed to come here first. January 21st. Robin. Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. This hospital's faulty. No visiting at all. Oh, the bullet must have hit an artery of his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even this one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better. Of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Oh, well, because, of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is the great detective, that's why. We better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley. I really hope not. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre. There are several cases in August, I think. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. Well, out with the sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. What's the sauce, Sonny? I'm a copper and we don't go into favoritism. But he's right, you do treat us differently. Because of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why. Oh, I crop up of them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Harley's. What did you write about? What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? I don't remember really. With one of Sholmes' lines, Gregson is as smart as the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what that one line did for me? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Ooh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Herlock Sholmes stories. They even set up a fan club for me. Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time he became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it'd take from one bad word from me and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No. The great detective was like, he's getting quite overrated these days. Think what happened to my salary if that came out in print, eh? Whole thing gives me the willies. Can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it. But that would never happen, Greg, see? Every month when the new Rance magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some more of my tea. Glug, 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 glug. Ah, lovely. That tar very much. That really hit the spot, ladyship. Total. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to ask you about Bexley, Mr. Naruvado. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until just now. Important message, I wonder could it be? From Mikoto, from Susato? Are you gonna tell me what this important message was then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's only verified resistant. Yeah, Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe? Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? The Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Yep, that's what I thought. Ah, yes, of course, I'd forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office right away. The Lord Chief Murderer's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. You think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. What? Wait, what did he just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san. He's gonna send them home, or her home. Oh, Mr. Naruvado. What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruvado. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's all this about? Why are you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And... tomorrow? Tomorrow? What about Ginny's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Susato, what is this all about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. Only me going back to Japan. That's concerning. Your life can continue here just as... That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no! Professor Mikotoba? If I may... Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Ryonosuke Naruvado, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Bet you thought I forgot the voice I did for him. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. It seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. But by the time you get back... As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Suzato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. So Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? Time moves quickly in London. Gina, the Lestrade girl in the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed in mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, and without wasting time in these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me." There's just one more thing, Longstrommer, which is Miss Lestrade's trial. Wonder if you might permit me to defend her? A timely suggestion. Sorry. The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Yes, let me defend her, please. I know we're going to, but like, do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. But she refused. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. We definitely did this out of order. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. You did it. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Suzato-san about to leave. Mr. Naruhodo, Iris, we must make haste. But Susie... Oh, reunion and turnabout takes place on your birthday? Cool. So that's May, is that May 16th, 17th, something like that? You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Oh, June 16th and 1922. It's 2017. Oh, why did I think it was May? Oh, my bad. My sole... Oh, yeah. Thank you, Miss Suzato. That's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this is completely throwing me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. Ah. Hello again, Gina. Oh my god, it takes you 7 years to load that thing, girl. What are you here for now? Have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look, you can come as many times as you'd like, but I still ain't got nothing more to say to you. She reminds me... Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. She vaguely reminds me of Luna Lovegood. Just the face, not like the actual, like, temperament or anything like that. What? Sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. Here we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it'll be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. Somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they're so clearly unhappy. Because of you. Ooh! What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they invest in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before? What about what you said before, Jenny? You said something about unforgivable lies? You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously wearing very heavily on Gina's mind. You know, I could be wrong, but... Is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGill was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Did you perjure yourself? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial... I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. Gilda was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing. And then... I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. That's when Mr. McGill did discover you? Yeah. Pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see by, but when I looked at the hands, I could add the cove's blood all over him. I was so scared I couldn't even speak. It is blood in your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses saw on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then Mr. McGill started asking you questions, I suppose? Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat? Yeah, you did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? When you threatened me? Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I heard. And about what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell nobody about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Oh lord. What did you see? You said Mr. Gilda, you just swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGill sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, couldn't help it. Mr. McGill had heard that and dragged me up by the arm when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc all bright and shiny. Disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Windibanks. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long. Mr. McGill had spotted it right away. He picked it up smart and stuffed it inside his pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me. I want to mutter a word of it to no one. It was so dark under the seat in that cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was Mr. McGildy getting on board. Ah, not only him. Oh, because I could definitely make out the footsteps of two people. In that case, it would seem likely that was Mr. McGildy and the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. Yeah, I know there's always perjury in this game, but it hits different when it's Gina, okay? In the testimony during the trial, Mr. McGildy claimed he slept during the carriage ride. Whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taking enough fear, tiredness, and I will succumb to it. In your own testimony, Gina supported this. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and wheels was too loud. That still tells us something. Mr. McGildy and the victim knew each other. So McGildy was lying, as I suspected. I knew it weren't going to take long before someone raised the alarms that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGildy told me that I'd back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two wolves from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. You gonna see Lady First again? Is British German coming back? Right, and after they'd gone, McGildy asked the driver to do him a favor. Favor? Damn. Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take the code to the mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yup, you got it. It was Windibank's. The coach, he snapped up the money and ran off to pop this code as fast as he could. Then there was no one left in the carriage. Mr. McGildy opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. What were Mr. McGildy's conditions then? Letting you go free, I mean. I'm not telling a soul, not for anything. About what I saw, what I heard. And there's something else as well. There's more? Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, some small changes in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked him? Did you see anything at all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's been taking me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. I want you lads to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. I'll come fetch from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You have to hang on until then. Is that clear? Whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. In case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop. Windibank, so it is. And you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. Forget the article will be forfeited and any old fiend can come along and buy it. Eh? But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. You go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. A few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. Let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is you might say, and what it is you won't. Yep, it's something else. After he'd gone over it all, I biked it and got as far away from there as I could. He had the pawnbroker's pocket and some bushes, ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. McGildy planned it and coerced Jean into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. Thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. What you threatened me with? What a wicked man. He knew everything on the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and it was all just looking after each other, getting by together. Do you mean Mr. Gilda would have... Now, Heartbeat, he could have had a lot of us chased up there if he wanted. And where would we have gone? Where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. But I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be... Well, you can make amends by doing a simple favor. Favor? What? Find the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Hey? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sean was shot, you see. You what? Ah, he's having a big operation right now, Jenny. It's bad. Is he gonna be alright? Sean's gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sean's sake as much as anything. Right. Right, so what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is it? Something like that. Miss Susato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. Hey, I don't need no one to stick up for me though. No lawyer or nothing. Oh, Jenny, she seems so lonely. Yeah, representation papers. Well, at least this should get us mean we can investigate the scene at Winterbanks now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done that. For sure. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's open to us at last. I have our representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating Winterbanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Wow, part 4 of the investigation, here we go. Maybe we can finally get some evidence in our pockets. This is long. Whoa, 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 y'all were right. 16th April, yep. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now let's ask these representation papers in Gregson's face and see if he makes them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? Should go home and rest. Get some rest. Yeah, Craigsy. Yeah, the representation papers. Your ladyship. Oh, how? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? Salute you. That's what good work is, that is. I can see you've been very busy here as well. I got some tea. Special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, lovely. Wait, let's see. Well, let's see now. Yes, yes, I can't look at the at all. It's fiddly, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene with the crime then? Here's the police. You know what happened? Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Winterbank and Gina. Hey, I have a question for you because I literally can't remember. The Eggs Benedict dude that we saw before, was he by any chance the same dude that I saw in the investigation of Case 4, who we didn't really do anything with? It was him and like the other dude who kept calling like a Hispanic name? Okay, it wasn't? Okay, I couldn't remember. I literally could not remember. I think it's I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before too long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. There are many articles to go through and it's taking forever, even the lad's working on a book. The problem? Because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. Oh, they are? Okay. Come then, let's not waste any time. Every article, yeah. On that door is a storeroom, isn't it? That's what Grexy said. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windibank face down on the floor with Gina beside him. What a terrible scene. Oh my god. As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruvado. You must make a thorough investigation. Yes, of course, and we will. And that door, that's the real scene of the crime. Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them. Now can we move in there, please? I guess Iris is the official assistant character right now. Makes sense. Window storeroom. Poor Iris. She's planned out completely. Iris is bound behind this difficult. After all, Mr. Windibank's life was taken in this very room only last night. Yep, there's a reason why I started my announcement with "It's not Metroid Dread." All these people I can't watch because they're playing a game that I need to stay blind on. After all, yep, I just read that already. Ah. Wait, Inspector. What is it now, Sunshine? What is it now, Sunshine? He took one look at me and tried to run away. Like a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped up little defense lawyer, would you? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, this is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. They weren't looking at it for me, you were running away from a 10-year-old. I'm afraid this is all a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Yeah? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Oh my god, you're really bad at this. I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine. I've told you not to get under my feet. We have to investigate and do ourselves. Yes, we'd hear more what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, howdy. And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Yeah, he is. That salary is going to be cut in half, let me tell you. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Sure. You've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It's what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? Oh, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, shortly after 1 o'clock in the morning, the Scotland Yard police attended the thing. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. It was locked from the inside. The brain doodah. What's the brain doodah? Bet the size of an Oreo cookie coming in at. The lock appears to be broken now, though. What was that the police officers doing? Quite right, man. Quite right. We just took the liberty of smashing in the door and as someplace possible. Oh, as you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thus wise. Next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child. Who are you talking about, Jenny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade. The helpless girl was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. Still alive, you know. When I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. I'm afraid to say she had the gun I was using in her hand. No. Presumably it's the gun on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? Why'd you break it in then? Oh, because you had to get there. You had to get to her, yeah. And you say the storeroom was like, never mind. The storeroom had been locked on the inside, Inspector? Correct. All the weak list leaves her ladyship's friend. It's something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. So open and shut, huh? Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? The thing is... Don't mince your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No, the operation's done and dusted. Just that, well... Out with it. Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body anesthetized? Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction. Trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing if you catch my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for them to nod off or so here. Now the off's finished, they can't get him to wake up apparently. Oh my. No one knows if the anesthetic in the system or the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch till he comes around again. Harley. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I'll get word to you. With surprise, even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. I did it my way. Probably don't want to present this, but... What do you make of this? Ah, what did I do? What did I do? Yes, this is the ticket for Mr. McGilda's overcoat. The one the little diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do you? No, I didn't mean to, Bruno's right, Gregsy. It isn't the same ticket. Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I'd never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold as to ask? This is a second ticket. No, not a second one. Seems that Mr. McGilda, in fact, had another article in storage here at Windibanks. Is that right? I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, not Mr. Naruvado. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. I think it was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilda's overcoat. Eh? You mean to tell me? Yes, there was more than just a music box disc, it seems. Oops. Excuse me. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examine it properly. Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilda deposited another article here with Mr. Windibank. Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it? I see it right back there. Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? On the article belonged to Mr. McGilda. It could have been an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at the big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. Too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles. I'll go barking. There's no time for dog impressions, Inspector. That's enough sauce from you, sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, has it? Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held on for 2 months. The small box will no longer be in here then. That's right, it's been forfeited. Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yes, the shelves in the front, we must search them at once. Aren't you doing that now? You're wasting your time. There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. Can't possibly know which one might have been Mr. McGillicud's. That information's not written in the ledger. Ugh. Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case. What's your ladyship? Of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. Kiss ass. Please have marked the chalk line. Oh, Mr. Windibank, he was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. Most likely the fellow died instantly, he wouldn't have felt a thing. Aha! I may very well be able to help that. What? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is it, Reno? Ugh, I have a feeling I was not as bloody-minded as you are. I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types. Yes, what a scientific observation. But you need this. Oh no, what is that scary-looking thing? Harley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. As soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch. Like luminol. Oh, the color of the bloodstain has changed. Yeah, doesn't make sense. It's still red on the... Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Jane would say it's... bleeding great. What blood are we looking at then? This must be Mr. Windibank's blood. Yes, this is where he was shot, though, so... Any question of that? This could turn out to be a very valuable clue. We simply must make a note of it. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other person's blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure. Wait. No, we don't have that. This is a revolver, a real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windibank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Runo look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. In the metal. I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windibank with us yesterday, didn't we? Okay, yes. Okay, Vernon Dursley, come on. Must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. It looks bigger on the floor there without Gina there. Mr. Windibank told us they only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. You'd be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired with this revolver. You're not going to add that to your evidence? Come on. Out of all the articles in the storm, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah, what is it? What is it, Iris? That's the box file my manuscript is being kept in. Oh, Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this. I was checking through the box at once. Yes. Ah! It was there. Iris' story was there. Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Hey, welcome back with the pizza rolls. Yes. I mean, of course I believed Harley when he said he deposited it here, but still. A relief to actually see it. Really? Because it's not a very well-hidden frown. Okay. Oh my goodness, what a large fat stack. It's the only thing of note on this thing, so... Look at all these articles that have been passed through and stuff full of them. I can't believe how many there are. Bicycle, gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings, look. Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust anew together. Very peaceful by the atmosphere here. At least there would be, if not for the chocolate outline on the floor and the policeman shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. I don't see anything else of any note. Oh, this. This again? Don't worry, I'm alright. We must find the true culprit. Yes! Oh, that's it? Okay, I think we're done here. I don't see anything else of note. Make sure Gregson doesn't have anything else to say. Present him this, just in case. See. Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest? Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles. A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. I don't suppose. Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time? Good question. I can't really remember. I see. Well, would you, your ladyship? Why would you, ladyship? Let's await its publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You're looking to be arrested, Sunshine. I didn't mean it like that, and even if I did, you wouldn't have been the ladyship's head off, would you? I haven't done this yet. I haven't presented my badge to anybody. What a disappointment. Oh, he's definitely the gumshoe of this game. He's the Inspector. Go back into the storeroom. Or not the storeroom, the shop. That's right, they've all got little price labels on them, but there's so many. Let's leave with the box. How many boxes? It could be any one of them. Mr. Shelm said that the pawnbrokers were the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank's full. Perhaps a small box of Mr. Regilda's contains something of very high value. If that's the case, he probably kept it locked. Then we need to find every box with a lock and break them all open. Hiya! Oh, Susato. That sort of misconduct will get you arrested. I won't let that happen. Oh, that takes me back. It's been some time since Susato-san last threw me. It's true. I think he's got some of Gumshoe's goofy, though. That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Reno? Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan. Oh well, this'll be a treat. Shall we have a listen? So pretty. What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound? Beautiful sound, yes, but a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks. Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word. Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. Another Bobby? This might be the Bobby. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Keep it down. Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just here. Really? Then we must tell Gregsy at once. As soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need a constable to relieve me and take over my ship. They have a really tough time, the British police. That doesn't stop us investigating, does it? No, I suppose not. Fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Look here. Oh my god. What happened? Wait, it's a bullet hole. Still lodged in the wall. How did that happen? Presumably Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. Is that Herlock's blood? Mr. Sholmes liked to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic. Sorry? Saw there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Ah, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime. Doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once. Forget that for now, Ryono. Let's examine this bullet. What's that on the bullet hole? Is it blood? Suspicious red stain on a calendar. Aha! This is where I come in. Oh, right. If the blood changes to be the same color as the sample from the storeroom, we'll know this Mr. Windibank's blood, but that wouldn't make any sense. Exactly. Here we go, then. Maniacal, stop playing Cookie Clicker. Oh, it's green. It's completely different to the color that Mr. Windibank's blood turned in the analysis. Just goes to show, things don't always go according to plan, do they? Well, why would it have been okay? Nevertheless, we must add the sample to the results of the other blood analysis. This is the strange contraption that lets you see pictures. Is it the red vinegar makes you think? What's here? Yep. This thing. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are. I'm confident I can get it closed again. Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope. Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Shoulder sold us the picture yesterday that I was supposed to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, you used a great big contraption over there. Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. Those little things are much simpler designed for use at home. There's a special shop selling prints that you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I could make money off of these in Japan. It would beat keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Oh man, he's cleaning the toilet too. Article. This. Oh, look on the back. There's another one? Is that? Oh, show us, Susie, show us. 15 February, 10:30 p.m. 1 gentleman's overcoat. £1. Why? What do you think? Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat. So, let me go there. Oh, I think I got ahead of myself before. Oh, a stereoscope. I've got it. These 2 photographs have an amazing secret. Secret? Yep. You must tell us, Iris, at once. You really, really, really want to know? You hate this? Oh boy, let's see how I do. So Iris, about these 2 photographic prints, the one we found here on Mr. Windibank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. This is an amazing secret. Actually, it's not quite right. If you look carefully, the 2 prints aren't the same. Not exactly. They're not? Have a little look at them now. Yeah, they're not the same at all. Look at the direction the cat is looking for one, I think, is screwed up. But also, this one seems to be taken at an angle a little. The one on the left seems to be taken at an angle a little bit to the right. Can you see that they're slightly different? I see that they're a little different. I think so. It's very subtle, though. What's the reason for the subtle difference between the 2 prints? Ah, well, because they're set, you see. No, I don't. It's a stereoscope card. They're photographs. Photographs. It's meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London's raving about them at the moment. Stereoscope. Yep. Well, actually, quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions. What? Really? Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. I'll never be able to tell you. Oh, the moon bless her. I'll figure this out. Don't help me quite yet. I, for one, would simply have to know. Have you ever considered Ryono? Oh, well, I see depth in the world around us because there's two. Yeah. Two eyes. Because we have two eyes, yep. Two eyes, shocking. Try closing just one eye at a time. I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye. Ever so slightly, you get a different view with each eye. As the position of objects needs to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, the brain uses that shift to estimate depth that merges the two images into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see. My brain is really amazing, isn't it? It does so much for that telling me. I think I see a pair of photographs. This is a left eye view, and a right eye view. Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick. You persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head. You'll see depth in this print. Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand. Their assumption is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that. Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself all without needing a stereoscope at all. Really. Oh, this ought to be good. I can't believe this. Let's try it. See if you can view this pair of prints without the help of the stereoscope. Yep. It hurts to do that. This is an image from hell. I skipped a bunch of dialogue there. I have to go back and read it. Over here, yep. Set the pair of photographs in a stand at the back and... Alright, it's still amazing even though I know roughly how it works. Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions lots of households in the capital apparently. These little machines are so affordable. Surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But it's much more satisfying to see the effect with your own eyes. At least, well, I think so anyway. In any case. And can I do anything with them? And please deal with this. Yes. Do that again. Cool. Oh, that looks like blood. Yep, let's show it. It's from a gloved finger. That's almost certainly a glove made of leather. Well, don't worry, Bruno. You can leave the rest to me. Purple. 3 different blood. Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, is it? Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before. We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Well, this particular stain of blood. Oh, you had an idea, haven't you? Whose blood this is? Yes. No. Oh, fucking no. Let me look at the court record again. I just want to be able to read this. For the overcoat, okay. Guess it's Gina. We'll have to take it back to him. Oh, well, I tried. I thought she wasn't. I thought she was bleeding at some point. My bad, and I didn't know she didn't own gloves. That can't be right. How would he have gotten it? But... victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. That means Bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windbags yesterday. I'm suggesting the bloodstain was already on it at that time. The smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed off. There's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed off 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilder was also wearing leather gloves that night. Can I ask, his blood could hard stolen? Wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. It certainly does look like a leather-gloved thumbprint, this mark, but we know that Mr. McGilder had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, in which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruvado, you sound like just like Mr. Sholmes. Minus the quirky slip-up cycle. Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well. Let's make a note of this. Yup. Dong. 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 Ah! I nearly jumped out of my skin there. Why, how could Mr. Winterbank set such a wicked trap? I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Not really the time. I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit. No, wait, not yet. Our trial is tomorrow. We've established whether or not you've been spending. I think we should ask her one more time. And changed her mind. Don't you remember, Bruno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be a lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Did I say that? Yes. Yes. You did. That's funny. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we'd better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Poor Ginny. 16th April, 541. Look for them cell 13th. Lucky number. Ah. Gina, good. You're back. Ah. The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Eh? Oh, didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks. Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying that I did it. That's not... Gina, we came to ask for your final decision. Eh? What decision? At tomorrow's trial, will you let me defend you, or not? I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right. See. Really lost our fight all of a sudden. I know what that feels like. The worry's just so hard to bear. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give him a rest on my eyelighters. Well, and then fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. We don't know yet. We don't know yet, Gina. Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there's a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I might know why you broke into Windibanks that night. Looks like I'm gonna have to take some evidence. Yeah, I'll do that in a second. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you tomorrow in court. Nah, don't bother. You know, rip them off and chuck them, will you? The representation papers, or whatever they're called. This cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. One stubborn pickpocket. We found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris' latest story. Ah. Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windibanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Ah! Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Alright, yeah, this Baskerville story. It's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least £5,000. What? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No. Ginny, how could you? Well, wait. No, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, was really there or not. It's the only reason I was there in the first place. For Iris' sake, right? Ah, we knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. When I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Windibanks. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I've wondered if Harley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Harley. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I wanted to know the truth, that's all. I wanted to know Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Windibanks, It's like I told you the night before. I'm never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy. You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will you? I ate all this chummy nonsense, dear. I ate it. I don't trust no one, alright? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains. Well, why are you looking at me like that? It might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? I'm not telling you it's blood, dude. Blood, Mr. Naruto? You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though, so could it be blood that's spattered from Mr. Windibank when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Eh? Take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I'm gonna shoot. Uh-oh. That's not the right blood. Oh my. What the? Look at the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking stains. That's why we haven't seen them until— oh my god. And the blood that has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches with one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the powerful blood? Ah, yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What are you all on about? Victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation. A rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruto, but I think this makes things quickly. It's the omnibus case. The omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Wait, would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story. The truth of the omnibus case. You can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilda's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. I don't know why he kept doing that accent. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul would rush to help a fellow bleeding from the stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from Mr. McGill trying to pull the victim to his feet. No, if that's what really had happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is it splattered all over Mr. McGillard's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. Aye. What a bleeding shame it is. If I'm being honest with you, that's kind of, the job of a lawyer. I did my job. I mean, I didn't know the truth. The evidence didn't really point to McGilded anyway, I guess. But it was also forged. I don't know, man. I don't know. It sucks, but, like, this is bound to happen to, like, any lawyer. Mr. Naruto, that horrible case is solved at last, and I helped the man walk free from that trial. He used all the twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGillicuddy was innocent? I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon. Yeah, very bold. Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-san? Listen, Ryonosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is truth and what is a lie, which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. Any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Or, sounds like this empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on, look at the mess it's got you into, believing in a bog crawler. Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people is never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back of the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one. I don't believe that to be true. Gina, may I ask you something? Well, I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. I do, actually. Well, Mr. Naruvado, the lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to what? I trust her. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? Are you half-baked? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Naruvado. Mr. Naruvado. Naruvado? Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off my tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over their eyes 2 months ago and got her into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Eh, it's true that I'm just a student of law. And I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. Oh, for sure, I'm not going past the investigation. I've already decided that from the moment I started the stream. I know this was going to be long, but I can promise you this. Whatever happens, until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side. What do you expect to say to that? Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern lot are... I don't know what you are. I don't get you. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Miss Susato. Somebody's in there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? Blimey, you're sharp. I knew it. Suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone's being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Craig C. Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word there were some visitors who were refusing to leave in those after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. Not this minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye-bye and bye. A lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time's pressing at the minute. Oh, I see. That's a shame. I don't get this emergencies at the Supreme Court dealt with sharper Lord Strongheart will. Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Nothing. Forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off. Alright, Gregsy, if you have to, but let's chat soon. Delighted, charmed, can't wait. If you please, my pleasure. A lot of pleasantries. Not one of them sounded sincere. Gregsy's so funny, he says the silly things. Certainly entertaining to see the effect of a police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what the emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend to the clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Upper. Your last thing as a judicial assistant, because you're leaving tomorrow, isn't it? Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruvado. I shall meet you there later. And so our investigation came to an end. Sato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. It's a crying shame, I did tell you. Yep. Naruhodo-san. It's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All in the back of the news that her father has fallen ill. She must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task? So much talking. It's almost 2 months since we arrived, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I'd be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Susato-san. Just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel like I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets? And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of a whole story. I missed something. Oh, okay. What lies in the shadows, and what do those facets that we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. So true, King. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san. I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry, I've what? Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving at 4 AM. See, well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yes, yes, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What do you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What's that? Some huge bundle of documents? It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The case. Seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, was very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. Everything else she's had to think about. Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my very best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Oh no, don't do this. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say, I'm not your judicial assistant, but I've been a complete failure. What? What do you mean? Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. No, no. We can't do that. We can't have that. No, you gotta address that. Come on. No. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Oh, one more for the road. What was that? A secret technique of mine, the Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Oh. Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Oh no. Honey. Now I'm gonna cry. What the fuck? Can't do this to me. Susato-san. Truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and it almost feel nothing changed at all, as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind. Eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Wow. 17th April, the Small Howers, St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Charlie? Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell and Godspeed. What is that? Oh, my dear madam. Oh, I don't want her to go. You can't do this to me. That's not right. This is not right. I guess this is where we'll stop? Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't think we should even consider starting the trial. This is the best place to stop. So, oh my god. What the hell? I'm not okay. Yeah, I was told it was one continuous trial. Although, for the future, I would like to be surprised about that. Nothing, no worries, just, you know. But yeah, this is good. Thank you all for coming out. This is what a doozy of a case this is turning out to be. Oh my goodness gracious me. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna go raid somebody. I don't know what else to say. I'm not okay, but I am okay. But I'm having so much fun. But at the same time, it's like, game can't do this to me. Game got me in my feelings. Let's see what we got. I'll think. I have to think of a raid message actually. What's Jenny playing right now? Art. Got art. I raid Mads all the time. It's not very often I get to raid Junie. Actually, I cannot remember the last time I raided her, so... Let's see. Um... Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm just thinking of a raid message because I'm really into long raid messages these days. I am not okay with the audacity of this game. That is going to be the raid message because it's super long and honestly it's just how I feel at this moment in time. So that's what we're going to raid with. I'm not okay with the audacity of this game. Raid Junibug, who I believe is actually working on something related to me, so that's cool. So yeah, thank you all for coming out. We will do this again next Friday at 7:30 Eastern Standard. We're going to finish this game. I will take a short break from the Great Ace Attorney so I can do some other things. Because I'm not going to be around on the 22nd, so I can't stream that night. So I'll probably pick this up in November after we finish next week. And that is that. Thank you all so much for coming out. Have a great night, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.